here we go. Big Friday show to wrap up the week. RG3, he's got a new YouTube page. Where isn't he? He's racing Seahawks. That's literally my biggest fear. And he will be here. You want to know who knows Sean McVay very well? RG3. Of course he does. And here come the Rams. Also, Devon Achane. This kid, rookie, kid, averaging 8.5 yards per carry, making the NFL look easy. He joins the show as well. Big one against the Cowboys this week. Lots going on here on a Friday. Thanks for joining us on Up and Adams. We've got a big show. RG3 joining us. Guys, subscribe to the YouTube. We're doing more giveaways in the next couple of weeks for the holidays. No show on Monday. A little programming note. We're gonna all relax, enjoy that Baltimore Ravens Niners game, and then hopefully have Debo with us on that Tuesday after to start off another week and the last week of 2023. Crazy. Hope you guys are great. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. And we are going to, oh boy, I don't know what just happened. Oh no, Hamilton, everything's gone. Hold on. We got to talk about what happened last night. And I'm happy RG3 will be joining us to go through some of it. But the Saints, listen, it wasn't pretty. The Saints did on the road. They made it interesting late. The Rams hold on. They keep a very hot streak going. I believe 5 wins in their last 6 games. And if you look at what that means, as I sort of foreshadowed for everybody out there, we put it to you right in your lap before this game yesterday as far as the playoff picture. LA goes into the 6th seed at 8-7, right? They beat the Giants next week. You want to know the percentage chance of them getting into the playoffs? 90%. All they got to do is beat the DeVito, and they get a 90% chance of getting into the playoffs. The Saints, woof. They fall to a half game back of the Bucks for the division and a half game back of the Vikings for the final wild card spot. They also would lose on all and each and every, sadly, one of the tiebreaker scenarios right now. So they need to win out. They need to win every game, and they need some help if they're going to make it into the dance. As for last night, man, I'm going to talk about this with RG3, but I think I'm more impressed with what Sean McVay is doing this year than he did the year he won the Super Bowl. Not taking anything away from the super team and the whatever, and he's a young, but nobody gave them a shot this year. I'm burying their quarterback every 3 seconds, but somehow these offensive playmakers are stars all of a sudden. That's good coaching. Okay. That's good coaching. That is good. That is good acquiring of late round draft picks. That is undrafted. It's all that. And it's been going on throughout this entire streak. Tyron Williams, another 100 yards, 6 straight games. Stafford becomes the first Rams quarterback ever to throw 2+ touchdowns with no interceptions in 4 straights. That's nice. That's consistent. They're on fire. Puka's a revelation. Still 180 yards and a score. 129 yards away, guys, from Jamar Chase's rookie receiving record with 2 games to play. And as a whole, only the Niners and only the Dolphins have outscored this Rams offense over the last 5 weeks. If the Rams keep playing like this, headed into the playoffs, I feel like a broken record because I said this 5 weeks ago. Cue the tape. I said they're going to run into the playoffs. This kid Kyron's given me the Todd Gurley Super Bowl year vibes, unheralded completely, and they're crushing it. I would not want to be the division winner that has to take on the Rams in the first round. Wouldn't be my wish for Santa. Wouldn't put that on under my tooth fairy pillow. Absolutely not. This team is playing as well as anyone in the league right now offensively, and they have the potential to cause drama in the NFC. The Saints side of things, it's dramatic in a different way. It's a sad way. Like they're just back and forth. They can't quite figure it out and keep it going. The story again, Derek Carr struggling to get it done in the big spots. The first drive of the game, guys, he takes a sack, knocks them out of field goal range. You're looking at it right now. The next drive, he commits an even bigger no by taking a sack on a 4th down. So overall, oh my God. Ugh. Overall, the Saints went 0 for 3 on 4th downs while this game was still up for grabs. So Carr, he had a critical interception late in this one. I was hoping the offense sort of turned the corner last week against the Giants, and they sort of reel you in, right? And you want to be like, yes. And then Cam Jordan, like, is telling you how serious and grave and how precious everything is, precious with like a negative connotation. Like, we don't have a lot of shots at this. My window at this is closing. Let's turn it around. G-Men last week, but they fell back in the bad habits that they had really all year long in this game last night. And they have to get it turned around by next Sunday. If they lose to the Bucks week 17, see ya, playoff hopes. Which is sad. Did our parlay hit? No, Cooper Kupp. Is Hamilton available for my yelling at? Is he available on Zoom? Hamilton,
Here we go. There has to be blame. Yeah.
I'm in parts unknown. And I thought to myself,
Yeah.
Hamilton, you're the parlay, you guys, Gronk will pick his two, we'll pick our two as a whatever. Is there a reason you went back to the well, the poisonous well that is Cooper Cup for this when we know that he robbed us of a, I remember, for me to remember the odds on a boost, it was definitely like a plus 600 thing. We were 1 yard short due to a cup injury. We went right back to the well and he's the weakest link. Goodbye.
I mean, he'd been killing it lately. He had back-to-back 100-yard games. He looked healthy. He was figuring it out. It just, it just wasn't his night last night.
Just wasn't his night last night. We did not get the parlay, but we've got a lot of fun. We have a 50K. Was it 50K DFS this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big,
so people
big DFS. Big
DFS. So we've got options for you guys for that, but they're not the options I'm going to use to beat all of your asses out there who think you can beat me in daily fantasy sports. I'm the queen. I will figure it out, and I will give everybody again like 40 cents. You're not getting any more out of me because I crushed it last time. We were not bad last time, not the best. Who did we have? Who was our quarterback? We had a shady Kyler.
Kyler. Yeah.
Okay, you get out of here. Well, we got to talk about some other things like RG3 and Devon Achane coming on our show. But let's move to Detroit, people. Detroit, the Lions. Lions, biggest threat to the Niners in the NFC? Not if you're the Rams fan. Okay, let's move on to Detroit. Lions host the Vikings, and they have a chance to do something historical, something that they haven't done in 30 years, guys. If Dan Campbell's squad can beat Minnesota this weekend, it'll be the Lions' first division title since 1993. Jared Goff, people, was asked about how much it would mean to the players to be able to deliver the NFC North crown to thee and this fan base that had to suffer through Jack Harlow in a plastic igloo with looked like they had garbage bags of snow on it. They had to live through that. Can they get the NFC North crown? And he made it pretty clear that it's not something this team is really focused on at all.
It would be extra special one day looking back on it. I think, if we're able to get it done, it would, it would mean just what it means, which is winning the division, and that would be it. Now, again, we got to go play well and figure out a way to do that this week, but I don't think we're by any means considering, the magnitude of what it, how long it's been or that stuff. We're trying to do our best on a Wednesday and on a Thursday and a Friday to find a way to win the game.
I love it. They're not focused on it. They don't care. He's like, why? So Kay Adams in 10 years with wrinkles can say my name when she's saying they won the division title back in 2023. He doesn't care. He doesn't give an F. He has that Rams team I was talking about, that with Sean McVay, they won a Super Bowl. Jared Goff is they got rid of me. I want to show them what I can do. That's what I would think. I want to make my own dinner. I want to put my own banner up next year. And maybe he does it with the Lions. Maybe with all this weird stuff, it is finally his turn. And they came out. There was so much hype about them. They come out in that season opener against the Chiefs. They set the tone for the Chiefs season in that game. Okay, I feel like I'm really preachery today, but that's just how I feel. And they're coming off, I think, their most impressive win of the season since that week 1 win in the season opener against Kansas City. They took down make no mistake, a red hot, confident, arrogant Broncos team. Okay. They demolished this team. That's one of the best in the NFL over the last 2 months. And Goff revealed during that media availability yesterday, he thinks Lions needed to get their asses kicked by the Bears the week before to get them on track. I always like to point to things. What changed? What was the moment? It's an interesting point, guys, because even before the Bears lost, something hadn't been quite right with them. The defense not looking up to par. They played 4 straight 1-score games against teams that they were objectively head-to-head better than, including the loss to Green Bay on Thanksgiving. It was sort of head-scratching. Why are we letting people hang around? Why is this happening? If that loss to Chicago was the turning point, great, okay? And they can do this again, another dominant performance against the Vikings this week. This team will achieve the bigger goals than the division title that they've been talking about all offseason, okay? The Cowboys and Eagles, they're going through it right now. I don't think it's crazy to think we can see a team like the Lions get to the NFC title game if they start to peak at the right time. It's all about timing. It's all about momentum. It's about how they can win. That sort of chip on your shoulder. Jared has it. Jared freaking has it. He just does. I think this weekend against the Vikings will give us the best idea all season of where this team stands. Pivotal moment, pivotal time, Christmas vibes. The talent's there to make them make noise in the playoffs, though. One more game I want to get to before the break, guys. Jags Bucks, because we have a big one going down in Tampa, the Battle of Florida. The Jags need a win to stay in first place in the AFC South, and they might be without Trevor Lawrence. He remains in concussion protocol. And if it's not Trevor, it's CJ Beathard. Now for the Bucks, they've got a half game up lead on New Orleans with a tiebreaker because the Saints lost last night. I don't think anybody really saw this coming after the way things ended with one Tom Brady. And so much credit has to go to the quarterback. Still, no one giving it love. I did an underreaction on Baker, and it didn't really do well socially. People weren't chiming in, retweeting, yes, Baker deserved love. Why not? Why not? He does deserve it, guys. You have to give credit to a guy who has a comeback for the ages. He went a combined 2-8 last year with the Panthers and Rams. He is 3 away from his career high in touchdown passes with the Bucks this year. He's coming off one of the best games that we've seen from any quarterback this season, going into hostile territory, into Lambeau. We talked to Rashad White about it earlier this week. Todd Bowles spoke about it. The Grinch, Todd Bowles, per Rashad White, about the challenges that Baker has faced when it comes to not only leading a team and having to rewrite his own narrative, but sort of stepping into the shadow of the greatest to ever do it.
You're not going to replace Tom, ever. Nobody is. He's a legend. He'll go down in the Hall of Fame. Anybody that comes after Tom. If you play well, you're going to be talked about in a good category, not Tom's category, but a good category. And if you play bad, well, he's not Tom. So he was in a lose-lose from a fan ballot standpoint to begin with, and he didn't try to win the fan ballot. He just put his head down and he worked, and he won the team over, which is what was great about it. And he's doing things his way, and we're doing things our way. And you can't say enough about what he's done since he's been here. I mean, that's usually hard to fathom, like you said, with a new OC and a new quarterback and a new system to come along like they're coming along has been great.
I don't know why we're not talking about this. It's a too tall a task. It's too much on his plate to even he's never going to be on that same level. How can he dig himself out of that hole? But he's turning this team around, and it's been awesome to see. And by the way, and I think I gave him a lot of credit in the offseason, he's being very quiet. I asked Rashad White about him, and he brings up Kyle Trask and how well he was balling. I'm like, what am I missing here? But I will say, Baker still is maintaining, and in a balanced way, the parts of him that I like the most. I'm the man. I'm going to be a maniac. I'm going to headbutt one thing about me, I'm going to headbutt my teammates on the field, but he's not taking the bait from the media. And it's what I've always wanted for him. Do those things, be whatever, say all the right things, and stand on business, as the kids say, with his play. And he has, guys. He's ranked in the top 10 this year in touchdowns, passer rating. He's only been getting better each week. He's led the Bucs to 3 straight wins, people. This week, he's got the Jags pass defense. They are 29th in the league. It's my concern about this Jags team making any noise in the playoffs. He's going to have a big opportunity here. Get it done. Do it again. And if he, and the Bucs can win this one, they're going to have a huge leg up because the Saints lost for that division title, and they might win it in the shadow of Tom Brady. All right, this NFL season continues, and it continues with Smirnoff. We love this partnership with the NFL Smirnoff and Up and Adams. They've got so many delicious signature football-themed cocktails over at FanDuel.com/Smirnoff. Go check it out. And they're giving FanDuel fans a lot of ways to win. It's the Smirnoff number 21 Sunday primetime cocktail pick'em. And every week through this now and through the Super Bowl, there's FanDuel.com/Smirnoff, 7 cocktail-themed questions. You answer them about the Sunday night game, and you get a free shot then at $10K in prizes. So let's bring in Hammy. We don't come up with the questions, but the completion Cosmo question of the week, at first glance, it's not that riveting, but then it's a good argument. Which quarterback will complete the most passes on Sunday night? Do you think it's Zappy, or do you think it's Russell Wilson?
I'm going to go Zappy. He's actually been playing pretty well over the last couple of games, and he's completed over 70% of his passes during that span, while Russ has been under 60% completions over the last month. It's kind of, we've been talking about it earlier in the year, Sean Payton kind of was getting the best out of him, and he was kind of back to where he was in Seattle at some points. But over the last month, it's kind of been falling off for us.
Are you tired from that? Are you tired from that effort? You pick Bailey Zappi. It's clearly Russ. Y'all are crazy. Sean Payne's probably losing his mind all week after the stupid loss that he just got handed by the Lions. I think he's going to have a chance to get it done through the air on Sunday night. The Patriots have had the second best run defense in the league. They're 16th against the pass, though. So he's going to say, listen, Cortland, we're going to get this done through the air. Good effort by you, though. And FanDuel.com/turnoff. There's no right or wrong answers. You just have to answer the 7 cocktail themed one with your free chance at 10K in prizes. And while we're here, Hammy, let's keep the predictions going and let's do it. It's time for Playmakers. It's okay. I've been juicing. They're drug testing me. I've got the text, just like Jake Browning did. They're going to drug test me after the show because I look like that. It's time to tell you who I think is going to score some touchdowns in week 16, okay? You've got fantasy, you've got daily fantasy. First up, give me James Cook, okay? He has scored 4 times in the last 4 games. The Chargers defense has been getting lit up. I also like T. Higgins. I always like T. Higgins. We talked to Devo about him this week. He's got great vibes. No Jamar. You're telling me, and I like Boyd too, but T's going to have a big performance in Pittsburgh. I think it includes a touchdown. And I always go with a bit of a long shot for the week. I'm going to go with Jacoby Myers. Chiefs defense, stout, stingy, tough, but he did score on them last time, and he's found the end zone more often than not 8 times in the last 13 games, or in 13 games that he's played this year. So worth a shot on taking a shot with a big old return. Those are my K-makers, my anytime touchdown scores for week 16. Oh, we got to get out of here because we've got Devon Achane on the program. We have RG3 on the show. He knows Sean McVay. He knows Shanahan. Big Christmas night bout up against the Niners. We'll get his thoughts. And Achane on Mostert on how far this offense can go and why the NFL is so freaking easy. Great. Okay. How does it end then? Nice to meet you. Okay. You guys, I talked to Devon Achane. We're going to show you this, sit down with him. Huge fan. Never got to meet him during the process, but we had Mostert on, and I just think if we're talking like most fun teams in the NFL, I think the Niners have a bit of fun, but I don't think there's any team that's more fun. I think it's important that the Dolphins do it that way. So I'm going to show you guys that. Is that a soda stream in the background? What's a soda stream? What do you think is a soda stream? That's tequila. Ooh. Good. My hair looks voluminous, you guys. Thank you. And here's, I have the hotel hairbrush. This is my system. You guys always see me when I have fake hair put in. I have my real hair, everybody. Did they get their hats? Did we send those hats out? Did we send hats out to everybody? To the people who won? Yes, the free hotel brush is the move. Okay. There he is. walking through that tunnel, coming straight for the Cowboys this weekend. I mean, James Cook ran all over them, caught all over them, and here comes Devon Achane. I sat down with the rookie running back. We talked an insane, historic start to his career. We talked about teamwork, making the dream work. We talked about his Christmas wish this year, and the fun he's having in Miami. We ready?
Yes, all good, Kay.
Okay, great, because I cannot wait to talk to you because you have made history, Devon. You were averaging 8.5 yards per carry this season, the most from a running back with at least 70 attempts in NFL history. Devon, the only person that comes close was some wonderful guy, I'm sure, named Beatty Feathers back in 1934. Do you understand that microwaves weren't even in people's houses in 1934? TV in homes wasn't even a thing?
Yeah, that's a long time ago. So I don't know what it was looking like back then.
Not a bad start to your NFL career, huh?
Yeah, it's a nice start. Like you said, 1930 to now, that's a big accomplishment. If you think about the time difference, that's a long time.
It really is. I gotta tell you, the NFL's supposed to be hard.
Yeah.
Why are you making it look like it's not hard? I feel like you're exposing the NFL as a rookie.
I wouldn't say that, but it mainly comes from practice. I feel like you're supposed to make practice hard, so in the game it's supposed to be easy for you, but it's most definitely not easy though. So it might look like that, but if somebody else was to try and come do it, it wouldn't be the same.
What's the hardest part?
Probably
it's easy for you.
Nah, it's a lot to come with playing football. Like, just basically, like, you got to make a lot of sacrifices to do this as well. And then, like you said, this is a high-risk injury sport. So, just staying healthy and making sure that you can perform at your best every Sunday. So that's basically, like, the hard part, really.
The numbers are crazy. The efficiency, the explosiveness, the speed, it's off the charts. If you didn't miss games, the numbers, I can't even imagine what these numbers would be. You mentioned an injury. I'm seeing some things about practice. How are you feeling?
I'm good. Like you said, injuries part of this game, but I just, try to get my treatment every day, and the training room, they keep me right, and they make sure that I'm well prepared and ready to play on Sundays.
Are you going to be ready to go against the Cowboys this week?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to play? I love hearing that. I cannot wait to see you and this whole offense out there. Let's talk about this duo in South Beach between you and Raheem. First of all, are you faster than he is?
Of course.
I don't even know. Are you faster? Do you guys talk about this, or do you guys actually have a foot race to figure it out?
No, we always talk about this between me, him, obviously Waddle and Hill. So, we always talk about who the fastest. But if you look at we got like these like high speed times. I have the fastest time, so I'm the fastest. But I'm always, even if I didn't have the fastest time, I would still say that. But of course, if they were sitting right here, you asked them who's the fastest, they would say them as well. So I wouldn't expect no other answer from either one of them.
We're going to have to do something in the offseason to figure this out. But between you and Raheem, who I talked to not long ago, loves you. You two are really working well together. 29 total touchdowns, over 1,900 total yards and going. I was trying to think of like comparisons to other running back tandems like Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara, or like even what Gibbs and Montgomery are doing up in Detroit. But, there's always like a bruiser and then there's an explosive dude. But you two, I can't remember anything I've ever seen in the NFL like it. You two are straight speed. You two are straight home run threats. Is this the most fun you've ever had in your life, being in this offense?
Yeah, because like I said, this is my dream to play in the NFL. So obviously, I'm gonna have the most fun here. As far as Raheem, he been here a lot longer than I have. So, I'm just trying, just do the best I can. But just being around him, and him teaching me, a lot of things about the game. Like I said, he's a vet. He's been here a lot of years. But, just learning from him, he makes it fun and easy for me. So,
what have you learned from Raheem?
Just basically like just the offense. Like when you first came and you hearing like a new offense, like it's like you learning a different language. Like it's hard to like grasp, but just basically him, staying with me, helping me, like us just studying together, and him telling me like how he reading in the game, or like if he in the game, and he do a drive and he'd come out. I asked him like what he's seen, like what they was doing, and like what the D-line, what type of stunts and stuff they was doing. Just basically give me a little tips so far when I go in, so I can like be already ready for it.
Are you too competitive?
Always. Like if say he get caught or something, we always talk about each other, or if he missed a hole or this and that, I'll be like, bro, I would have did this. Like you should like just fun stuff.
That's what I like to see out of my running back tandem.
Yeah, just fun stuff.
When did you realize that you had superpowers, like speed? Like, was it on the playground? Was it in the Pop Warner game?
I
I,
always
I'm like a giraffe running with the refrigerator in their hands. Like, I can't run at all, but you were so quick. Like, when did you realize you were blowing past kids?
always been fast, but I realized that I was like actually fast when I got in high school, and I actually started running against like running track and running against actual fast people. And when I started seeing like my times, I'm like, yeah, like I'm really fast. So probably when I got in high school.
But this is like a very fun squad, this Miami team. Lots of
Yeah.
offensive weapons, flash, there's big personalities, there's glamour, there's tons of flashy play. How do you find, you're finding your way, you're learning this new language. Like, how do you find your identity to make you sort of stand apart, but also fit in as one of 53 dudes?
Um, Basically, you gotta be yourself. Like you said, everybody got their different set of skills. We got a lot of fast guys on the team, but we all don't play the same position, so we all good at something. So basically, just being out there, having fun with each other, but also making plays and counting on each other is what we do. We always joke around, and make fun of each other at practice, but we know on Sundays, we all out there giving each other like 100%. And so basically, I didn't really have to like try to fit in. I feel like they welcomed me, as far as like, me proving myself and like basically going through like the whole training camp and OTAs. That's really when you start as a rookie, like them like trusting in me. So basically, as far as that, but I feel like it was pretty easy. They wasn't a lot hard on me. So I feel like I came in with a good group.
And I feel like everyone has that welcome to the NFL moment when something crazy happens. There was more of like a, hey, NFL, welcome to the A-Chan show. Like, not welcome to the NFL, welcome, like that 76-yard touchdown earlier this season. That's what that felt like to me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like I said, I've been playing football a long time. So people always ask me like, why you don't celebrate? I feel like, man, I feel like, I'm a running back. I'm supposed to score a touchdown. That's how I look at it. So me making like big plays and me scoring a touchdown, I feel like that's something like I'm supposed to do. So that's why I don't be like into like the celebration. I mean, I'll be happy, of course, but it's just like I just be in the moment. I mean, I'll talk about it and like celebrate it afterwards, after the game over.
Okay, I actually really like that. Does Tyreek get on you about not celebrating?
I mean, they all do. They always telling me like I need to come with a celebration.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Waddle, and there's like meetings y'all have install during walkthrough on like what the choreography is going to be and the beats of all that. I love that. Got the Cowboys in Miami on Christmas Eve. You might run into a guy named Micah Parsons one time or two. Could be Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
What, show me the face you make when watching tape of this dude.
I mean, man, like he's a great player. Like you said, he run sideline. He's also fast. So, we just gotta. I mean, I feel like, when you playing against guys like him, that they are very disruptive when it comes to like the run game and or basically his pass rush as well. So I just feel like, we just got to key in and basically, we can't make those little mistakes. And I feel like he's type of player that if you do make a mistake, he'll make you pay for it. So.
Well, you grew up in Texas. You went to A&M. Did you grow up a Dallas fan?
No.
Are you sure? Who'd you grow up cheering for?
I really never had a team.
Okay.
I always had like a favorite player.
Got it. I feel like the Bills gave y'all a pretty solid blueprint on how to take care of Dallas, right? They have 266 rush yards. James Cook did a bit of cooking and a master class. Like there's probably a Raheem Devon game coming this week.
Yeah, hopefully, man. Like you said, yeah, he did. Like you said, James Cook, he did have a great game. So hopefully, like you said, with me and Raheem, we also can do the same, man. So we will see this Sunday.
What do you make of these people out here who want to say that Dolphins can't beat a winning team? Cowboys 10-4, just saying.
I mean, we don't be worrying about that for real. Like, it's not something that we just like. Everybody got their opinion. Everybody gonna say what they gotta say, but they don't know what we going through, and like they not in our shoes. They not coming here, being here in the morning. So when people say stuff like that, we just ignore it. I mean, like you said, we 10-4 too. We got a winning record, so as long as we keep winning, it doesn't matter like what other people say. Like,
last and most importantly, Christmas. What do you want for Christmas?
What I want for Christmas? I mean, hopefully we get an early Christmas present with us to win on Sunday.
That's right.
I mean, as far as that, I'm just thankful that my family coming down for Christmas. I feel like once I got like 16, 17, I stopped wanting stuff for Christmas.
It's all business for you, but I love that your family We'll be there watching you guys take care of business against those Cowboys. I hope Tua comes through with some guitars or ukuleles for y'all too.
Yeah,
I've heard about these karaoke nights on this team.
Yeah, he's actually a great guitar player. He actually is.
So I hear, so I see. All right, we'll let you go. I know you're super busy. You are a million miles a minute, and we are just so impressed with everything that you're doing. Keep it going.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you. Could not be more impressed with him. And there's a little storyline that I've been keeping an eye on this year with the Dolphins offense. They have the number one passing offense. At one point, they also had the number one run offense. No one's ever had both in the same season ever, which is crazy. The Dolphins, they're fourth in rushing right now, right? Okay. They have a chance to catch Baltimore at the top here. It all starts. We saw what James Cook and Co. did to the Cowboys. They got their running going. So we'll see if Achane and Mostert can sort of run them to the top. Can they be the first team in NFL history to have number one in both categories? They got 3 weeks to get it done. All right. Speaking of three, RG3 on the show. Hey, what a treat. Listen, we're going to get into some of these RG3 isms. We're going to get into McVay. I have a feeling RG3 likes the Saints. Let's talk about it all after this. Yeah. Pat interviewed James Cook yesterday. Ooh, I love that James Cook is getting the love. Okay. This is horrifying. God, golly, an absolute nightmare. Guys, if you have any questions for RG3, the brilliant, wonderful, delightful star that is RG3, you guys hit it up in the YouTube comments. And you guys can follow his YouTube page that he just launched, which is so fun. It's called RG3 and the Ones. Ones spelled out, O-N-E-S. Maybe, Alex, can we pop that in the chat? Can we pop a link or something into RG3's YouTube page to promote? RG3 and the Ones, perfect. I wonder if we can link it. There we go. Subscribe to RG3's channel here.
When you bring up hamstrings, that
like
brings me immediately to our experiences.
Casual Michael Vick just hanging. Okay, subscribe. Guys, go subscribe to that. No problemo. I may never get glam ever again. I just love not having it. I don't know. I love not having to sit in an hour of makeup every day. Are you staying in town, Cold Park, for the weekend? I love that. Not for a while. I'm gonna go skiing. Thanks. And by skiing, I mean eating French fries at the bottom of where people ski. Poolside stream did not work today because it's just not sunny enough. It's just not the vibe. Sorry, no poolside interviews, guys. All right, welcome back to the Up and Adam Show. My next guest, I'm very excited about this. 8 years in the league, Redskins, formerly Redskins, now Commanders, of course. Browns, Ravens. He's now an analyst on Monday Night Countdown on ESPN. What else does he do? Oh, he's a new YouTube page everyone needs to subscribe to called RG3 and the Ones. Proud girl dad. You know him. We love him. Robert Griffin III. How the heck are you?
I'm doing great, Kay. How you doing?
I'm really good. Thanks for joining me. Congrats on all the success. I want to get into all of the things, but I'm watching the game last night, right? And I'm on a bit of a workcation, and I'm thinking about what I want to talk to you about. You're coming on the show. And then I just think, like, You're happy because McVay, that's your boy. He's getting a win and he looks good.
Yep.
And then I'm like, you just got to be happy anytime you see the Saints logo because it immediately just brings me back to your start against a team that I love and have always cheered for, the New Orleans Saints. And it was just really one of the best debuts by a rookie quarterback we've ever seen.
No, I appreciate that, Kay. And the funny thing is, a lot of people don't know that my family is actually from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Ouch.
Both mom and dad born and raised there. All my aunts, uncles, and cousins all live in New Orleans, Louisiana. I lived there for a year. So to have the opportunity to have my first game of my entire career there with 50 family members able to come to the game and watch truly made it even that much more special.
It's amazing. 320 yards. I remember it very well. 2 touchdowns, 42 rushing yards. You outdueled some guy named Drew Brees, which was insane. Now, last night, the Rams get the win over the Saints, 30-22. They're hot. They've won 5 of 6. It feels like everybody outside of the Niners in the NFC has issues. Are the Rams the biggest threat to San Francisco in the NFC?
Oh, I wouldn't go so far as to say that. I think there's still some other teams that are up there in the NFC that, maybe, as you said, are fluctuating, whether it be the Dallas Cowboys or the Eagles. But what the Rams are doing is showing that this year, the amount of parity that there has been across the league in both playoff races, I say that the playoff race right now is double cheeked up on a Tuesday like some apple bottom jeans. So it's kind of crazy how many teams are all fighting for that opportunity to get in. I look at the Rams, and really it starts with Matthew Stafford. He's throwing the ball better than I've seen him throw it in a few years, really since they had their Super Bowl run. And, of course, the great Puka Nacua coming out of nowhere to a lot of people, not to me because I covered him in college. He's been playing his tail off.
Your McVay, who you know well, he's impressing me more this year than he did the year that you just talked about, the year they won the Super Bowl, because no draft picks, no super team, but they're on fire right now at the right time. Is this the most impressive season of his coaching career?
Oh, 100%. And I go way back with Sean. He's our tight end coach in Washington when I was there, and of course became the offensive coordinator a few years later. But when you go from winning a Super Bowl and then you have such a massive down year like they did in the seasons to come, it can challenge you as a coach, because they went from F those picks, if you remember, to all right, well, now I got to coach, because if I don't have any draft picks, I got to coach that much better. And they waited on Stafford last year with the injury. And I've just been impressed with the mental fortitude that Sean has displayed, because he could be doing what we're doing right now. He could be doing
100%.
TV. He could be doing podcasts and making a boatload of money doing it. He decided to come back and coach, and he's, impressed me. Not that that really matters. You know what I'm saying? I'm a 33-year-old kid at the end of the day. But what Sean's been able to do this year has been the most impressive of his career.
Let's talk about what you've been able to do. I'm very happy for you. You're crushing it. We can all think back to 2012, the draft stage, you and Goodell, you're an electric young superstar. Would this person we're looking at be surprised about the journey that he's on that's led him to being, one of the hottest, most authentic voices in the business?
Well, first of all, I thank you for the compliment. And I know you've been in the business for a very long time. So that means a lot coming from you. But that guy on that stage didn't understand everything that came with the business of football. And I wouldn't want it to be any other way. The journey that I went on was a journey that God had for me. All the injuries that I went through, all of the turmoil that I went through early on in my career has made me a better man, better dad, a better husband, and, if I get the opportunity again, a better player. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't take any of it back. This journey in TV and broadcasting has been something that I never wanted to do. And for whatever reason, God pointed me in this direction, and it's the best decision I ever made.
It's amazing. And we all win from it because you are so comfortable. You are so authentic, you are so yourself on the air. It's fun to watch. You're a very fun watch. Which compliment that you get, and you get a lot, which compliment do you receive that means the most to you? Like when you hear somebody give you that kind of a dap up, you're like, man, that's the one that I really like.
Well, okay, I think it's twofold for me. The number one thing is most of the time when people come to me and give me some congratulations or props, it's, man, it feels like when I'm watching or listening to you call a game or on the broadcast, it's like you're in the living room with me, and we're just having a conversation, having a couple beers. And to me, that's the biggest compliment. And then I was on the phone on the show on RG3 and the Ones with Rich Eisen, and Rich told me that Stuart Scott would be proud of what I'm doing. And that meant the world to me, because Stuart Scott meant the world to a lot of people. And even though I had no plan on getting into broadcasting, he was a guy that inspired you, cooler than the other side of the pillow. And I just feel like from an OG like Rich to say something like that to me, that meant the world to me. And hopefully I can continue to push the limits and push the boundaries just like you are, and make Stuart Scott proud.
Incredibly thoughtful response. It is so cool to talk to you. When you talk about doing things your own way, we got to get into some of this. Now, I'm not like a college gal, but I see what you do, of course, with ESPN on Mondays, and we got to talk to sort of, the authenticity of you. Let's just go through some of your career highlights. I'm going to bring you through your RG3 isms, okay? And I want you to sort of rate them between, let's just say, like, RG1 is like, oh, I could do better than that, and then RG3 is like the best, okay? So
Okay.
First up, we have this one from Zach Wilson. Let's roll the tape.
If I could have one quote from Zach Wilson after this game, it would be, "I'm Zach Wilson. I love throwing bombs and kissing moms. Deal with it."
How do you rate that?
Okay. I mean, let's be honest. That's a 3. That's like, it's way overboard. Zach Wilson obviously went to BYU, and they're the Cougars.
Yeah.
So it was a nice, easy opportunity for me to sneak that line in, while also, having the fallback that he played at BYU, guys. I don't know. So no, it's certainly a 3. That's over the top.
Smart. And that was like a Star is Born moment. But then if you're like a producer, if you're like at ESPN corner office, you're like, oh, I heard that. Let's see if he let's see how much he can push the envelope. It's a very interesting thing, because then we have, you gave us one from college. We can't show the footage, but I'm going to just have to say it. Washington Huskies quarterback Michael Penix Jr. was having a dominating performance, and you described it as, quote, big Penix energy.
Yes.
Rate that.
Yes.
That's a 3. That's a 3.
It's a 3. Come on,
That's
Kay.
a
It's a
3.
3. It's a 3. It's honestly, I was calling a game last year for Michael Penix Jr. against Michigan State, and he was tearing it up. And he was playing so well that we're in the booth saying, man, this guy needs a nickname. So I spent about 3 minutes thinking of what a nickname could be for Michael Penix Jr., and then it dawned upon me. And I said, Big Penix Energy. And of course, my guy Desmond takes it to game day this year and completely obliterates it. Wrong pronunciation and everything. And I got to say, Michael Penix Jr. was pretty upset about that. Not gonna lie, he was upset that Desmond mispronounced his name, because it is his name. It's his name. You want to get it right, and luckily he's actually taken that. He's taken that nickname and used it in NIL to make money and give back to charity. So I'm happy to be able to help him with that.
That story went somewhere I didn't think it was going to go, but I really, I feel more educated here on a Friday morning. I feel like you should be the authority on nicknames. Like, everybody wants to do their Purdy nicknames and puns. Like, I think what we all want to create something, we should send it, and it needs to fly across the table of RG3 for his approval.
Listen, I'm all about helping guys with the nicknames. Purdy's got a bunch of them, right? He's Purdy good. He's Sturdy Purdy, Baby Bosa. I just call him John Harbaugh. He's John Harbaugh. That's who Brock Purdy is.
Baby John Harbaugh. It's true. Okay, finally, this last RG3 is this is one that you called, a game you called between Washington and Michigan State earlier this year.
Yeah.
Is this real? You know what we call that, right? Premature snapulation. RG3.
Oh my gosh. That had to be last year. I'm not gonna say I got a call about that one, because I didn't, but it's something that we would just joke about in the locker room. Like, if you had the snapper and the center snapped it too early or something like that, we just call it premature snapulation. And listen, I got great producers, and they helped me to realize that I should retire that one.
Or is there no Norby not calling your phone, like, come and have none of that? They let you
Listen,
do.
Norby's a great man. He understands. I'm having a good time, having some fun. And if I do get the call, it's certainly warranted. Let's just say I haven't used that one in about a year, just because
Okay, got it.
it's on the line, but you gotta pick your battles.
What have you gotten the call
battles.
about? What have you gotten the call about? What have you gotten the let's ixnay that?
Yeah, so I got a call about okay, we had this game for Oregon State, and you know the Oregon State mascot, right?
No, I don't. Tell me. Teach me everything.
Beavers. They're the Beavers.
God. Oh, God.
So I'm calling the game against Oregon State, and it's against Stanford, the Stanford Cardinal, and it's a tree. So like early in the game, I'm like, hey, let's see how much wood these beavers can take, right? Something like that. And it wasn't immediate, but I had not gonna lie, I had 6 other really borderline things that I said in that game.
You come with bits. You're like, this is what I want to get out there.
It wasn't that. It's not bits. The majority of 90% of everything that I say is just straight off the top of the dome. But there's a couple, that you can point out. And I got a call after that game because it was way too much. It was egregious. It wasn't like, hey, you're gonna get fired if you keep doing this, but it was like, yo, you probably shouldn't keep doing this. So I worked on all that and had fun and still have fun with it. So this year, Big Penix Energy is just something that Mike has adopted as his nickname. So I continue to call him that. But other than that, I stay away from it now, just to continue to have fun. Unless there's an orgy in the end zone. Alex Orgy, the quarterback for Michigan.
Oh my God. What?
That was a great one. Michigan fans still talk to me about that one. But it's his last name. What can I say? I have to honor his name, right?
You have to say his name. I understand. I do feel a little like they're going to put you on a game with those sort of mascots. It's like asking a kid not to eat a bowl of candy in front of them. You know what I mean? If they're going to put you in that position, I love you, Seth Markman, and whoever's making these, and Norby's y'all know what you're doing. You're leading an RG3 to an RG3ism. Okay, let's get into some things I'm gonna have to talk about. Well, we have your new YouTube, RG3 and the Ones. Gronk was on it, which I love. You've had some huge guests, DK Metcalf, Tyreek Hill, Sam Howell. What do we need to know about the new platform?
Yeah, RG3 and the Ones, just an opportunity to have a long form conversation, right? I don't like to look at them as interviews, but we've had some great guys on, as you mentioned already. Gronk, right now, episode that just dropped on Thursday was with Michael Vick, having an opportunity to talk quarterbacks, game changers versus game managers. But for me, it's really just to try to pull at least one thing from each guest that the people that are listening can take and apply to their own lives to help them become the one, right, in their own life. And that's really what it is about for me. I like to motivate every single morning. I send out a tweet of motivation to try to keep people going and keep myself going. So this is just another opportunity to have more than 30 seconds or a minute to express, my thoughts on certain topics and have real conversations about the hottest topics in sports.
Well, congrats on the success. It's got a bunch of subscribers. You started it in the middle of the season. So I already told everybody to go over there and subscribe to it. And we love that. And you guys have a big one on Monday night. Ravens, Niners. Let's talk about it. Ravens are 5.5 underdogs in this one. You spent a lot of years backing up Lamar in Baltimore. He's got a new contract. He's got, Eric DeCosta did his thing. He brought him new receivers, new OC in Monken. Outside of all of those external factors, when you look at Lamar, what has impressed you the most about his evolution from then till now?
Okay, it's a great question. And to me, it's a very simple answer. Lamar this year has been more of an MVP than he was when he won it in 2019. And the reason I say that is Lamar led the league in touchdown passes in 2019 when he won MVP. This year, he's only got 17. Right, he's got 17 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, and he doesn't have a ton of passing yards. But Lamar Jackson is a player that you look at and you say he is a game-changing player, and we've seen him make game-changing plays. But now Lamar is not just being a game changer, but he's also learned how to manage the game. And I think that's going to pay dividends when the playoffs come, because the playoffs aren't about X's and O's. It's about Jimmys and Joes. And the Ravens have the Jimmys and Joes now, and they have the number one defense in the NFL. And their quarterbacks hasn't truly had to be the 5 touchdown a game Superman that he has had to be in the past. So when they get to that point in the playoffs, when they need him to be the end all be all, he will be that. But he also has Zay Flowers, Isaiah Likely, Odell Beckham Jr., Rashad Bateman, Nelson Aguilar. Maybe Mark Andrews comes back, right? Oof. He's got all these new additions to their weaponry. And I think that's why he's been so impressive to me this year.
It's amazing, an amazing answer. On the other side, you've got a guy who has tons of weapons at his disposal. Oh, yeah. Brock Purdy. Now there's the perception that it's all about the system. It's, it's clearly not true. You're part of the reason for that argument. We have over a decade of evidence that shows plenty of quarterbacks did not have nearly the level of success that you did. Right. Matt Ryan, Brock playing in this offense with Shanahan. Right. What does it do to you? What does it do to your insides when you see people discredit Brock as a quarterback?
For me, it's beyond disrespectful for what Brock has done. I know that he was the last pick in the draft and quote unquote Mr. Irrelevant who became relevant. But at the end of the day, when you have this conversation about, is Brock Purdy an elite quarterback? Yes, he is an elite quarterback. Why? What do elite quarterbacks do? They make the right decisions. They make the right throws. They get their guys in position to make plays. And when the play is there, they make it. And Brock Purdy's doing that at a level that I don't think we have seen, but he's having one of the greatest years ever. He's like top 2 or 3 in like 10 quarterback categories, from yards per attempt, touchdowns. He leads the league in touchdown passes. So when they talk about Brock in that way, I just think it's insecurity, right? Brock's not the tallest guy in the world. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's athletic, and he adds that element. Okay, think about 2019 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing they did with Jimmy then, but Brock adds an extra element because he's able to make plays with his feet. And that's what makes this offense so great. Matt Ryan had Julio Jones and a bunch of weapons around him, right? Brock's got a bunch of weapons around him, but you can't punish him for having those weapons. You know, Patrick Mahomes had Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce at one point. I didn't hear anybody complaining.
You want the weapons. You should want your quarterback to have good weapons. It's a weird, crazy. I think it's funny insecurity. There's also this like, how did all these teams pass on him over and over and this way and that way? And no, I don't think anybody wants him to succeed, because then there'd be a lot of, we got it wrong on everybody's plate that they have to deal with. But those are the stories that I love most about the National Football League. We're going to go to break here. I want to ask you in our YouTube break, though, about Kirk Cousins, guys. So let's get one more with RG3. We'll squeeze one, take a short break, and be back here. By the way, who's winning, Niners or Ravens?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going with the Ravens in this one.
We're going with the Ravens in this one. I love it. All right, talk to me about Kirk Cousins. Because I talked to Justin Jefferson. I said, "Where's your paperwork? You're not signing your extension. You're obviously waiting to see what Kirk does." You guys were drafted together. In Washington in 2012. Kirk, what do you think of what he does next season?
Wow, I mean, for Kirk, it's really a matter of what does Minnesota want to do. You know, I think if Kirk, he'll be a free agent. His services will be wanted. I think he was playing the best football he had of his entire career. And it was without Justin Jefferson. So I know there's like this narrative about Kirk that, and they're old, in my opinion, old, lazy narratives. He doesn't play well in prime time. He doesn't play well when it matters, yada, yada, yada. But when his team needed him to help dig them out of a hole that, yes, they put themselves in, he dug them out. And he did it without his best player. So for me, with Kirk, it's just a matter of, at this point, I think Kirk is 35, 36 years old.
Yeah.
He's old. He's a little older than I am. What does he want to do? You know, like, does he want to continue to play? How long does he want to continue to play? Because I think that will ultimately make the decision for him of where he can go and where he wants to go. But whoever gets him next year, I think they're going to get one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. as long as he is fully committed to the game.
You're saying he's
and
one
as
of the
far as I
best
know, I think he will
quarterbacks.
be.
He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, 100%. And I know people will say whatever, this or that, stat padding this, stat padding that. At the end of the day, coming into the NFC this year, he was one of the top 5 in the NFC. And when he went down, he was playing at a top, I would say a top 5, top 10, certainly top 10 level at the quarterback position. Now, not MVP because their record was, about 500 and they put themselves in a hole. But yeah, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And I don't think that's a shocking statement at this point anymore. He's put himself in that category.
I love that. People are saying Kirk will not be a Viking next year, but somewhat sad, but you have to make moves to improve. Kirk can ball. I don't know why he's so polarizing, but I think you said it. It's always hard to advance a storyline. It's why I'm so impressed by a guy even like Baker Mayfield. Like people want to say Baker, but
Yep.
Baker's about to win the NFC South. Like Baker's about to his best game ever. I love seeing those stories come to fruition. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah, Kay, I think it's when it comes to guys like Baker and Kirk, even specifically Kirk, he's missing the Brock Purdy, right? He's missing the Brock Purdy portion of things where the play is there, makes the play. He can make the appropriate throw. But when the play is not there, he doesn't have that extra element. So as a coach, they're all looking for this guy that can beat you with his arm, beat you with his legs, and beat you with his mind. Well, Kirk has 2 of those, and he's elite at those 2 things. He just doesn't have that extend the play ability continuously or consistently enough for the fan or the coach to be like, all right, we got him. It's one of those deals where it almost has to be perfect for him. And he can make plays inside of structure. He just is not great outside of structure. And I think that's why he's been frustrated to a lot of fans. But I still think his ability inside the pocket and in structure makes him one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Guys, go subscribe to RG3 and the Ones on YouTube. You can see him on Monday night. Girl Dad, I'm sure you got all your Christmas shopping done. And don't think that I didn't hear, our show's ending right now, but don't think I didn't hear you say, if I get a chance to play again. I just heard, what? We're going to have to long form that shit at some point and talk about that. I appreciate you, RG3. Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for making the time. And good to see you.
Thank you, Kay. God bless, guys.
Bye. And we'll see you guys next week. No show Monday. We'll be back on Tuesday after the Niners beat.